Hello everyone. Today we have Mr. Shreshth Bhatia with us, who has scored an excellent score of listening 9, reading 9, writing 6, speaking 7.5, and overall 8 band score. Shreshth is just 16 and a half when he gave the exam. Right now, I guess he's 17. But
Yes.
a great thing happened that is like at this young age, he's able to score a score which is a dream score for everybody. Shreshth lives in Doha, Qatar. And over to Shreshth now for rest of the interview. Shreshth, tell us something about yourself.
Hello everyone, I'm Shreshth Bhatia and right now I'm a student of grade 12. So I took IELTS training from Webberz because it's very reputed in India, as well as I had heard from my parents because they did the preparation for IELTS from the same institute, and because of the constant support of the whole institute, I was able to achieve this, and I would really like to thank them for all this.
Shreshth, when did you start preparing for IELTS?
My exam initially was of, I think, 17th April. So I started preparing around in the March 7th. I think that was my first day in the first class. But however, because of COVID, my test was postponed to May 8th because a member in my family tested positive for COVID. So we all had to quarantine ourselves. Then my exam was May 8th. However, I stopped the Webberz preparation around I think May 1st, and then for one whole week I practiced myself from the materials uploaded on the Webberz portal.
So, how did you start practicing? Initially, when you started the course?
Uh, Initially, I was struggling a bit because no one is used to write a very complex or a very hard English exam like this. But however, after practicing 2 or 3 mock tests, I felt confident enough because it wasn't that hard for me because I live in a country where English is the first language of people. People communicate in English. So initially it was hard, but then as I practiced more and more, I practiced reading and listening, especially every single day. So it was after some time, it became really easy for me. I was confident enough.
Shreshth, we have a lot of questions from the audience. And the first and foremost question that comes is, how did you practice your listening?
uh, I was able to score good bands in listening, especially due to the English content that I watch very frequently. These days, everyone has OTT platform subscriptions like Netflix subscription, Amazon subscription, and there are shows of various countries over there. There are shows that involve various English accents. So I am watching lots of shows is basically my hobby. That's what I do the whole day, I think, and many people do the same. So I saw some American shows, some British shows, and some Australian shows. So I got familiar with the accents. So it was like someone is speaking to me normally during my listening exam. Also, I practiced a listening module every single day, like the 4 listening parts every single day from the portal of Webberz. So it was really good.
Okay, Shreshth. What was the most challenging part in listening? I mean to say the question types in listening that you found the most challenging.
For me, I think the MCQs were challenging, especially the Part 4 MCQs. I think that's where I was confused to choose between 2 options, and I just guessed it, and by luck I got it correct. And I feel that in MCQs, especially like there are some sections of listening where MCQs are typically easy, but then there are other sections of the listening part where MCQs are hard. All the options sound same. It's just the one word difference, and if unfortunately you miss that one word, then you'll end up marking the wrong answer, and that will drop your band score. So I think that MCQs is a really challenging task.
Let's proceed to reading now. And are you an avid reader? Do you read a lot?
Personally, it's shocking for me that I got a good band score in reading because I do not read books and novels and all that. People read the whole day, but on the contrary, I'm just completely opposite. I just hate reading. It makes it tires my whole mind. Reading something is not an easy task for me. But then I think reading is the reading part in IELTS is just they're just testing your analytical skills, the way you comprehend, the way you interpret whatever is read. And I think if you're good to interpret things that whatever, if you're good in interpreting things, whatever you read, like I'm a student, so I read lots and lots of textbooks related to my subjects. So I'm good at interpreting things and critically analyzing them. And that's what is being tested in IELTS reading. So I was good enough there.
A lot of people have a problem in yes, no, not given, and true, false, not given. What was your strategy to solve them?
I personally was confused between true, false, not given questions a lot. And I felt that one thing that really helped me to overcome that true, false, not given challenge was practicing from your blog, sir. This wonderful blog on Webberz website, in which Nishant sir himself creates. And there are lots and lots of exercises there. So I practiced every day. That's the number one tip. Of course, everyone tells that, practice will make you perfect. Another thing was that I came across this one wonderful tip given by my trainer that if the information is present in the passage, it will definitely be not given. Everyone can guess if it's true or if it's not true, but then the main confusion arises between not given and no. That's where IELTS people want you to make mistakes. That's why they give these types. They give these questions to you. So you have to break the question. You have to find the weak point of the question, and then you have to analyze that weak point with the paragraph that you read. You compare it, and then you'll be able to do it.
Right. And what was the strategy for headings?
For list of headings, I personally read the passage in segments. Like, first of all, before attempting list of headings, I just went to the question section and I read across all the headings. I marked the keywords, essential keywords, and all the essential key points. And, I understood the headings first, like what does the heading mean? And after that, I started reading the passage in segments. Like, first I read paragraph 1. After reading paragraph 1, I again went to the options and, marked all the options that suit that particular paragraph. By doing this gradually, every paragraph had one option assigned to it automatically. And I think this is a really good strategy to perform heading questions.
Okay. So let's proceed to speaking now. You scored 7.5 in speaking, which is above average than most of the people score in India. And what was the strategy of speaking?
I personally felt that speaking was the worst module that I've ever attempted, because I wasn't that confident after my speaking. But fortunately, I think I used essential vocabulary, and one main thing that people tend to do in speaking is, make filler sounds a lot. So I overcame the hurdle, and I rarely used one or two filler sounds in my whole speaking. I spoke very confidently, and if you're not nervous in speaking, I think it will automatically go very smoothly. It never hinders your progress in speaking. That if you're able to counter your nervousness, you can just do anything in this world. Nothing is impossible, as everyone knows. So the examiner also tries to comfort you down, and he tries to in between ask you one or two normal questions that are not marked enough, just to make you less nervous or just to make you feel comfortable. And I think just being not nervous is the main key to succeed in speaking.
So how do you keep confident?
I feel that to remain confident, a person needs to be in the right state of mind. First of all, he needs to calm down, because speaking is generally the last module in IELTS. And some people have speaking in India. I feel like people are lucky enough because they can choose their own speaking date. They can go after writing, listening, reading, and writing modules. And next day they can go for speaking, I think. But over here in Qatar, you have to choose on the same day. And unfortunately, my slot was earlier my slot was with 2 hours of gap. So after writing, listening, reading, and writing, I had 2 or 3 hours of gap, and then I had my speaking. But unfortunately, they didn't have enough candidates. So I was the first speaking candidate itself over there. So after writing, reading, listening, and writing part, in 15 minutes, I was called for speaking. And trust me, it was very hard, because your mind is very tired. There's just so much of mental fatigue that you can't even think properly. So what I did was, the examiner generally, gives you a pencil, or you can yourself carry a pencil in your pocket. So you just hold that pencil. I just needed something in my hand to hold and, release my anger upon, release my agitation upon. So I just held something in my hand and, started fiddling with it under the table. And it really helped me to, remain calm and put my mind in the right state, think in the right direction. Just think before you speak. Even if you speak the wrong thing, just don't act like you spoke something wrong. Just go on. Don't try to fix the same error. Like 1 or 2 times you self-correct yourself, it's fine. But if you constantly, keep on correcting yourself again and again, it gives that feeling to the examiner that this candidate is very nervous. He's not prepared enough. His English is not good. So even if you make 1 or 2 fluency errors somewhere, usually just go on. Because if you try to correct the error that you made, you'll feel more nervous about the next line that you'll speak. So it really helps if you just have something in your hand and try to remain calm.
Okay, let's go to the most controversial part of your score, that is writing. The difference between your reading, listening, and writing is 3 bands, which is very rare to see. Very rare to see. What blunder did you make in writing?
I think the major problem that I faced during the writing exam was timing myself. I did not practice writing module of IELTS. Even before the exam, I think in one whole month, I just wrote 3 essays and 3 the graph questions. I just wrote 3 questions of each, and I was like, okay, fine, writing is easy. I've been writing essays from the beginning. But then it's very different from the things that we write on a daily basis. You just cannot, write your own way in IELTS exam. Although there's no ideal way, they just say it. But then if your essay is not structured enough, you won't be getting a good band score, and if your essay is not having ideas. But for me, the problem was time limit. I felt that the word limit fell short for the section 2, and that's where I lost main bands. And also it really depends upon your luck, because writing section, you can get literally any topic. And my topic was something that I was not familiar about. It was really hard to think. I spent, I think, almost 10-15 minutes to think about the 2 ideas that I'll be writing in my 2 body paragraphs. I got the topic of like if people are given an option to stay at home or work, they'll choose to stay at home. To what extent do you agree and disagree? So I was just thinking for 15 minutes of what the hell am I supposed to write here? What do I write over here? So I think I wasted a lot of time thinking. So the more you practice, the more essays you write, the more better your skill of writing gets. Writing is something that you cannot just read and say, okay, fine, I've practiced one essay. You have to write yourself, you have to time yourself in that, and it will really help. It will show you the real results in the exam.
Right, Shreshth. Okay, Shreshth, now let's come out of IELTS and talk about you. You were in India till your 9th standard, till your 8th standard end, right?
Yes, till 8th standard.
So when you started with the 9th standard, you shifted to Doha. There must have been a huge cultural shock when you shifted from India to Doha. How did you cope up with it?
Initially, when I shifted from India to Doha, I felt like everything is different. The way we live in India is completely different to the way we live in other countries. The way we talk to people, the way we carry on with the day-to-day life and day-to-day activities, it's completely different. For me, it was hard because I was really small, and I had all my friends, mainly all my friends in India, and I didn't have anyone to, talk to personally or, get motivation from or get support from. So initially it was really hard, but one thing that I have learned is whenever you are, moving out or migrating to some other countries with any purpose, you should always be, humble and respect others, and you should always try to socialize yourself. You should go out, you should try and make new friends. And by making new friends, it does not mean that, you can go out and talk to strangers randomly and like that. You have to, talk to people about their interests. Like personally, I made friends by this journey. I talked about their interests, and then we all found a common interest, and then we used to talk about our common interests. So making friends is not hard for humans, because humans are at the end a social animal, and they require someone to motivate them or support them in all the situations. And I personally too felt it, and I was able to make friends because I'm of a very friendly nature. Generally, I tend to make a lot of friends, and then I played football with them, went on swimming with them, so went on hangouts with them. It really helped us to all get together and get the same friend circle, similar type of friend circle that I had in India.
Right. Shreshth, were you ever subjected to bullying?
Well, this is a very personal question, but no, I don't think so. I was ever subjected to bullying either in India or over here. Jokes between friends are common enough. You make joke on someone else makes jokes on you. But at the end, you should, not take those jokes seriously, or, just go along with that guy and just take it personally. You should never take anything that personally enough to, that can harm your sentiments. Because if your sentiments are hurt, you will feel low, you'll feel demotivated. You might go into depression as well. There are many cases that happen like this. But I was never subjected to bullying as such, and neither I have bullied someone. Because I feel that bullying culture has gradually over the years decreased a lot because of the social media and all the modern types of things that students carry out in the day-to-day life. We all talk like friends, we all make jokes, everyone knows these are jokes, so no one takes it seriously.
So which country is more conservative, Qatar or India?
I feel that Qatar is of course more conservative, because being an Arab state, Arab states and Middle East areas generally more conservative. However, being conservative does not certainly mean that there are proper protocols, there are things that you can do in India but not do here. Of course, there are some things that are against their rule books or against their models, but then I think we should respect them, because whichever country we go in, we are supposed to respect their rules and regulations, and that's what I'm doing here. And I don't feel as if there's a big difference. The people, of course, there's a cultural shift, and in India, there's for instance, in India, there's a lot of neighbor culture around there. Like you go out, the next door itself, you can go and have a tea with your neighbors. But over here, it's not like that. People are more civilized, and people are more to themselves. They just concentrate on the work. They are not into relations as such. They just want to work, earn money, and at the end just live their life peacefully and just uplift their living standard. That's what people are doing here. In India, however, people, they're very open. You can always, be friends with even a stranger in India, but that's not the case here. So Qatar is generally more conservative, but being conservative, it has its own pros and cons.
Is Doha a planned city?
Yes, Doha is very planned city indeed. They are preparing right now. Even there's construction going on outside my house because the FIFA World Cup 2022 is going to be held in Qatar, and Doha will be the host city for this World Cup. So they have planned the full all the projects, and Doha is generally a green city. Like if you go to UAE, Dubai, Emirates like Dubai and all, they have just huge building structures. It's basically a concrete hub. However, Doha has more open spaces, greenery, parks. And right now they are planning the entire planning to basically just uplift their standard of the whole state in whole, and they're building lots of stadiums, they're building lots of new roads, new bridges. So they just plan and just make it into a beautiful city.
Right. So do you think India can do something like Doha in terms of planning?
Yes, India can definitely do something like Doha in terms of planning. However, the population of India currently does not allow such big scale projects, especially, and the lack of governmental control in India. The government in India is generally, the politics in India is very unstable. However, Qatar is a constitutional monarchy. And in my opinion, it's just my personal opinion, I feel that having a constitutional monarchy is far, far, far better than having a democracy, because in democracy, there will be a lot of conflict in opinions. Similar cases over here, but then at the end, everyone knows whatever is the rule, they have to abide by them. So this is a very peaceful place. So if India's government and politics is stabilized a lot, and people are educated, and India can definitely uplift the standard of living of their citizens, because at the end, even I am Indian, and I feel that we have the full potential to cross all the countries globally.
And what is your future plan now?
Well, I personally want to study abroad, and especially in Canada. I am really attracted to the quality of education that that state of Canada provides, and I want to proceed with my engineering degree in Canada. And
why only Canada? Why not America or any other country?
I certainly do not like America because the politics there too, and I feel that it's just a personal choice for everyone, because some things will be good in US, something will be good in Canada. Every country has its own speciality. Even Indian education system is very good and allows students to be successful in life. But I personally chose Canada because of the natural beauty in Canada and because of the stories of Canada that I have heard by all my relatives. Because in India, there's a saying, in Punjab, there's a saying that from every house, there's someone outside living in Canada or Australia. So you have heard these stories and you have heard their living standards, and you have heard their achievements. So I think moving from one place to another basically opens a door for opportunities that should not be closed. Staying at one place, remaining stagnant, will basically hinder your success, and that should not be the case.
Wonderfully done. Very well done, Shreshth. All the best for your future plans. Thank you so much. And it was indeed a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much, sir.